Okay.
For how long?
For the whole time, apparently.
So we've been talking.
Hi guys. So apparently we've been talking for like 10 minutes.
So
now.
what you saw was this.
Yeah. You guys can voice in your own words.
Subtitle what you just saw.
The voiceover. Voiceover what you want to say. You do whatever you like.
Boy, howdy. Enjoy what you thought we said.
Yeah. So that's Justin.
Hi again. I'm Justin. This is JD.
How's it going? I'm back.
And
I have a voice now.
I can make this work. Don't worry, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about this is a doozy of an episode. Sento's the big. Let's just go to this. The biggest thing that happened in this episode is Sento dealing with the ramifications of his actions.
Yes.
Because of his and he did his actions because he feared the idea of Banjo losing control and crossing the line. But what ended up happening was with him using the hazard trigger, he was the one who crossed the line.
Yeah.
And what sucks is that he wasn't even the one in control of the situation.
Yeah, and it shows that, like, you know, there's consequences to the powers that you get and the decisions that you make. Yeah. And I really like the fact that Japan and their shows, no matter kids, adult shows, whatever, they're not afraid to touch on this.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, you know.
It's kind of surprising, like, because the fact that this is the kind of show that's like, we're at this interesting point where it's like, we're actually talking about the realities of war.
Yes. In a kid's show. It's war. And there's deaths.
And there's
you know, and the toll it takes, the emotional toll it takes on you.
Yeah.
For this, it's not just like, oh, hey, this is war. We're a kid's show.
This
People
is
die. It's all right.
This is our new power up. And here's everything too about the idea of Sento dealing with the death of one of the three crows is the idea that, like, normally we kind of gloss over the idea that Sentai and Rider heroes and kill their opponent.
Yeah. I'm sorry. They don't kill. They destroy their opponents, right? No, that's America.
Yeah, no.
That's America.
They kill them. We have to acknowledge that.
Yeah. People die in Japan.
These
not in America. Have you ever watched G.I. Joe? No one dies on that show, but there's so many guns.
Yeah, there's so many guns, and like every monster who shows up in a tokusatsu show die. Yeah. And we kind of gloss right over, but they die. And what's kind of cool in this episode is, like, this person died.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about? Well, I guess it's not crazy.
And Sento's really dealing with it
because, like, the monsters in this one are actually people.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
They're not. I guess they don't die technically because they get depowered, well, except for Banjo's.
Except for Banjo, yeah, Kazumi, yeah.
Yeah, but even then, so, like, you know, it's just it's crazy that they'll touch on this type of reality for a kid show in Japan, and it's just like, this is the norm. Yeah, you know, and I love that this episode was, like, super emotional. It wasn't, like, action-packed heavy. Yeah, you know. You know, and it just showed the real effects of, like, what happens to people when you cross the line.
I really love the scene with Sento and Grease at the site of where Sento did kill the member of the Crows. And what's really great about the scene is, like, Sento is just broken, and I love the guy playing Sento. I think
I love the fact that he's just broken the whole episode.
He's great. Yeah. This is a wonderful performance, and I've been saying for a while that I think he's one of the best actors to be in a writer show, and one of the best writer leads. And this episode,
the acting just in the series is great. Like, was it that episode when Miss Rider? I don't know if it was this one where she's banging her wrists against the ground. Yeah. I don't know if she's trying to break the bracelet, but she was just, like, the emotion of that, like, thing of, like, I did this, like, she feels responsible for it, even though it's it's a roundabout way for her to be responsible for it, but she's still taking, like, full responsibility for it. But it seems like that's what everybody's doing in this, like, you know,
they know they have responsibilities. And that's super cool in this show. And what's really great about that scene with Sento and Grease is both of them kind of owning up their responsibilities, you know, and the fact that Sento's so broken that he's begging Grease to hit him so he can feel something else. Yeah. Which, again, show for 5-year-olds.
Yeah. Which so crazy scene. It's just like, the one thing Japan knows how to do in any of their shows is pull at your heartstrings, no matter what. Yeah. Anime, any of these live action shows, they just pull on your heartstrings.
They're very good at melodrama.
Yeah. Even the villains, like, you'll get that backstory of the villain, and it's just like, oh, I don't know if I want to like boo this guy. I kind of want to root for him now. Like,
Grease's deal is great because he's such a complex and interesting character to me. Where it's like he's a dude who's like, he knew that his friends, he knew what his friends signed up for when they became they became the Smashes, and like they knew that death is going to be a thing, an option that was going to happen for them, and that's war. War is going to, when you decide to fight in a war, you should accept the fact that
there will be a death toll.
There will be a death toll, and if not you yourself will die.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it's like that doesn't mean I'm not still mad at you for doing it.
yeah. Like, yeah, that's still my homie. So yeah, like I understand your side, but on my side, yeah, we're gonna fight. This is gonna be a thing.
Because what's going to happen is that there's right now a battle royale that both Hototo and Totoro are setting up between Grease and Build, and Sento doesn't want to doing anything.
It's a representative of one person for each country.
Yeah,
and it's just gonna be a fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sento doesn't want to do it, but he knows he has to because if he doesn't, Banjo's going to do it.
Yeah.
But he knows Banjo can't take on Grease.
Yeah.
So he has to accept the fact that he has to fight.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that leads into another Isurugi scene with Sento.
Yes.
And
what is this guy's end game?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand he's powering these guys up, but like, is he gonna try to take the power for himself or what? Because then now we found out there's like 60 bottles when we thought there was only 20, right?
So buy the toys, buy the toys.
Yeah. No, we still can make bottles of things, and there's other drinks we can put into drivers. You know?
I'm sure there's other sodas they can try to like. Don't think they're not thinking about some sort of boba thing. I'm just letting you know. Don't be shocked if someone shoots like some boba weapon at some future episode.
Boba, Korean barbecue, best match,
bulgogi. Now, he's the Korean Kamen Rider Build. Anyway, so yeah, no, this is. The thing was like I'm waiting for when Sento is gonna realize that he needs to stop listening to Isurugi.
yeah, I don't know. It's always just like, oh, you're bad. I don't want to do anything. But then it's just like, but I kind of have to do it because you have a good point.
Yeah.
It's like, huh. So, it's like, I don't want to buy this, but you're going to make me buy this. Okay, cool.
So I guess I kind of have no choice and put on the goofy belt that makes drink noises. But yeah, I'm always intrigued by this because with Isurugi, Soichi Isurugi is the idea that like there's always something else about him, and I always like am excited to know like what is your end game, like you said.
Yeah, I don't know where the end game is going because like so much has happened already, and it's only been 21 episodes.
Yeah,
we still got probably another like maybe 25 episodes. Like, and we're ending a war at this point. So like, what?
And there's
happening.
There's that third nation.
Yeah,
that's been super quiet right now.
Yeah,
and we don't know what their deal is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Bloodstock's gonna go over there and make allies with those guys too.
Give them a Kamen Rider.
Yeah, or jump to America and make like, hey, let's just take over this country.
Go jump America and create a Master Rider.
Maybe not.
There's a terrible idea. I'm Kamen Rider Furbus. Please don't do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I brought that out to the world, and I don't want that to be a thing. That sounds awful in every fashion.
But going back to Grease,
yeah,
I liked when they introduced him. I really liked that like he was kind of like this mysterious dude, and then they had this like weird like thing where him and like Misora were like oh, who's that girl? And I was like, is that like his sister or something like that? Right. Like, and I was just, they would build this up for like maybe 3 episodes, and it's like, oh no, it's Mita.
The idea that he's Mita. It's the fact that he's a Mitan fan is still one of the.
I love it. It's so great.
It's one of the goofiest things about this.
It is. It's the goofiest thing, but it's awesome that like it's like a thing that's in this series. Like, it's not just like, oh, we just need something and then she does it. Like, no, people know who she is.
I also really love the stuff that Banjo's going through right now. Like, there's a really great scene with Banjo confronting the Grease and the remainder of the crows. And again, he does this whole thing. He's about ready to fight, but instead of really fighting, he apologizes.
Yeah, he like gives up the fight.
Yeah,
and then Grease is like, don't come in here with that. Don't come to the battlefield with your half-assed battle whatever, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I was just like, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, like Banjo takes on the same amount of like pressure and stress that like Sento takes on, and he didn't even kill the dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but he knows that like as a effect of what he did, it's kind of his fault.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nuts. And what do you think about like Misori's power to heal?
It's
you think that's gonna have an adverse effect in the future?
Adverse effect is something. It feels. I mean, clearly, obviously,
yeah.
but there is something kind of interesting that like Misori's ability is to heal, and her father aims to hurt.
Okay.
And there's something interesting about that. You know, even the fact that he's like a cobra and he stings people.
But he's not really her father, though, right?
I mean,
it's
that's
like
still
a
the other
surrogate father, I'm assuming.
That's that other word question mark that we don't really 100% know. I'm just gonna go with it for right now until it's said otherwise.
Well, because they explained that like they met at a certain point, and she was like knocked out. Like they were both in the hospital, and I'm assuming that's where he saw her.
I mean, there is something else interesting too about their relation, about just Soichi's relationship with all of them, is that there is an affection.
Yeah.
For all three of them. And he's not denying that he does care for them in some fashion,
but his end game is like more important, obviously.
Yeah. Do you think there's any form of redemption for him, or is he now just too far into the villain side that it's just impossible?
I think his story's going to come to an end, right? Pretty soon.
Yeah.
And then I think Night Road is going to come back.
Yeah.
And like do what he's supposed to do and take names and kick ass.
Yeah.
Because like he's
on
like,
the lam now.
He looks cool, but every time I see him fight, he's not what you would think he looks like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got to retreat again. I'm losing again. It's like, dude, you look really cool. You should be taking names.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming like he's gonna get powered up. He'll be back, and then he'll be more of a villain figure. And then we still have to see the Kamen Rider from the other country.
Yes.
Because you know they're gonna have one.
It's interesting because like you know the term when they talk about a Kamen Rider ship being a Rider War ship.
Oh, like because there's multiple riders.
Right, and they're usually fighting each other.
Yeah.
Example is Ryuki.
Yeah.
Guy. Even I think XA to a certain degree.
Okay.
It's interesting that this show is actually using the term Rider War.
Yeah.
And really exploring it as opposed to like dumping 30 riders at once.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, there's all these riders. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that it's not so like flooded with riders. Yeah. I mean, I know there's what is Bloodstock and Night Road? They're not riders, but they're kind of...
They're definitely not riders. But
they're hazards of some kind.
Like Lieutenant Hazardy thing.
I mean, they both have horns, so it's kind of like the org thing.
Comment below and let us know what you guys think they should be called.
We don't know, but
But they're definitely... Here's the thing. There's, of course, the rumored Kamen Rider Road, which I'm now guaranteeing is going to be Gentoku. And if I'm wrong... I'll be shocked.
I mean, I'd like that other country to have a female rider.
That would be great.
Because we don't have a female rider yet in this, so that would be awesome. Or I mean,
I always like when they do introduce a female rider.
I kind of can see the like reporter doing it, but then that seems kind of like too obvious,
too easy.
Yeah, too easy. Which this series is definitely not that. Like the twists and turns, like catching up to this was just like what? Like when I found out she was a spy, I was like. What?
Yeah, this is definitely. One of the things I've been loving about the show since day one is that it slowly builds, but also all the places it's going feel organic.
Yes.
It does feel like this is the logical step.
Yeah.
To go here, a show that I kind of knock a little bit, even though I kind of defend it a little bit to some folks, is a show I'm very half on, is like Kamen Rider Ghost.
Okay.
And a lot of folks really hate that show. I'm not going to here to defend it. But I will say that there's a charm to the show I like, but the biggest problem with Ghost, and I brought this up before, is that there's a kind of a tonal inconsistency and a soft reboot every like 10, 15 episodes. And I heard there was a creative change that sort of ruined the flow of the show, and I think that definitely hurts it, where it doesn't... Ghost will do a thing where I feel like, shouldn't that have been the premise since episode 1? And then they'll do another thing when, again, that should have been the premise of like episode 1, whereas Build always goes to a place where, yeah,
that makes sense right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 20 episodes in, or 21, right? 22 drops today. But I feel like this is the best writer series that I've seen. I haven't seen a lot of them. I think I've only seen like 4 or 5 all the way through.
Yeah. Okay.
But like writing wise, it's got to be one of the better ones, if not the best one I've seen so far.
I feel like Bill. I look forward to when we get to the end of the show to see how they wrap everything up, because right now I think it's one of the strongest written shows by far.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that. It is a show that definitely knows where to go its dramatic highs, knows when to have its fun, but also feels like, oh, it's a bigger story.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they're figuring it out and deciding, what if we do this instead?
Well, that's not working. Let's move on.
Okay, we'll do this instead. Like, that's not working. Okay, I'm just gonna put that over here. No, it's really been organic and very consistent. Like we've talked about on the show, we've talked about like the show's never, for some of us, it felt like the show's good, and it hasn't got to the point of holy crap. But I will say, when we get to episodes like this, I definitely go, holy crap.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man, I don't even know if I can handle this episode. It's just, I need maybe some comic relief next episode, because this was a toll on like your emotions.
Yeah, the show is at this like high dramatic point right now, and I'm sure this won't be the last. I'm sure we'll get more, especially near the end. But definitely, I am like really into where we're at, and it does feel like things are only going to get harder, because next episode does not look easy.
No, yeah, and I'm kind of curious as to where that goes, because I don't know if Sento is in an emotional state to take on Grease at this point.
Yeah,
and like I know he was training or whatever, and then they make this time jump, so obviously he's going to have new tricks, but that's probably going to be his downfall.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't think this battle is going to decide the war. I think something's going to happen and the battle has to stop.
Right.
And then, the war will go on at some point. Somehow. But yeah. One thing I wanted to bring up too is that I like the fact that like, Sento is not necessarily the leader.
No.
Like, you know how like normally the main writer is like kind of the leader. But like Banjo's just like, I'm stronger than you. Why are you telling me what to do? Like, I just love that,
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, yeah, I can't tell you what to do. You are stronger than me.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of stops talking after that. And it's just like, all right, I can't argue.
No, I think it's a really cool dynamic for sure. And I definitely, it's at the end of the day, it's like Sento just wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
And like leading isn't something he set out to do, because that's not his goal.
Yeah.
And I like that about him too. Like, something like Gaim, where at some point Kota sort of does become the leader of the beat writers to a certain degree. I haven't seen Ryuki, but like, does the main guy in that one kind of take charge?
I'm not too far into Ryuki. I think I went like 20 episodes in, and at that point he's not any kind of leader. He's kind of like the new guy to the scene, so he's still kind of figuring everything out.
Yeah.
Where like there's this like kind of whole other dimension where like people are fighting. It's kind of like Dragon Knight, if you saw Dragon Knight. It's pretty kind of cut and paste, but not exactly. But yeah, he's very like the new guy, and he's trying to figure everything out and what's going on.
Did you finish Dragon Knight?
I didn't actually.
I've only seen one episode of the show.
I think I went like 20 episodes into for Dragon Knight. It's really hard to find online. I couldn't find it online. I don't know if there's DVDs, but
there is definitely not.
Yeah.
I just know at some point Mark Dacascos shows up.
I didn't get that far.
I caught an episode when it was on the air. I remember catching like, that's Mark Dacascos. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no. I remember that.
I'm not into. I wasn't into Dragon. I tried. I went. So I'm good. Anyway, that's Dragon Knight. We're not talking about Dragon. We're talking about Build.
Yeah. So I mean, we pretty much talked about this whole episode. Yeah. Like to the end. So where do you think this series is going? Like what are your theories like in the future right now?
I feel
immediate future maybe.
I feel like if Sento's gonna lead, it will be soon.
Okay.
And I feel Greece will be an ally. Okay. I just don't know how and to what degree.
I mean, he'll probably be like the outside ally.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Quantum Ranger.
Sure.
Like, he'll help them, but he's not exactly part of the team per se.
Like, I feel like spacing him out will be a good call.
Yeah, because that other country, they're up to something. They're up to no good.
For sure.
So whatever they got going on is going to be more powerful than all three of them.
Exactly. And so that's my thing. It's like something's gonna happen. That wall's going down.
Because like, dude, Night Rogue just disappeared, so he's probably went to the other country.
Oh yeah.
Because he's got to find some kind of backing. So I think that's gonna happen. I think definitely what were you calling the trio?
The Three Crows.
The Three Crows. I think they're all gonna eat it at some point.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I think that Bloodstock he's gonna run out. His time's gonna run out, and
I feel his out of being any form of good is the fact that he was affected by the Pandora's box.
Sure.
And that clearly has screwed up with the brains of everybody who was affected by it. And if there's a moment where something happens that reverses the effect on the Pandora's box from him, I'll be intrigued to see who he really is.
Yeah.
When he's not being Mr. Manipulative with the cool clothes and the cool hat.
Yeah. And then I think you're gonna start to see the effects of her healing everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's such a new power now, but I think it's gonna slowly start affecting her. Especially that she just healed the president.
Yeah.
Which I feel like was a lot of power to do. Because he seemed like he was on his deathbed. So
maybe that healing leads to reversing the Pandora's box effect on people.
It could. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen her touch
anybody
Bloodstock.
No, she's never touched Bloodstock. She's never touched any of the Prime Ministers.
Yeah.
So we will see.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm excited to find out what happens. I specifically didn't watch this episode, so I didn't have to jump into there.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's good.
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're good. Why don't you go ahead and tell folks where they can find you on the social medias?
On any of the social media, my screen name is Lint324. You can find me on any of them on that. And you?
Oh, here we go again. Because I have a laundry list, apparently. You can find me on Twitter at Justin Quizon, Instagram at Justin Quiz. 2 monthly podcasts I run, co-run. So I do Benview on Spielberg. Our next episode, which should be dropping actually sometime this week, will be on Back to the Future, which Spielberg, of course, produced. And I just recorded today a new episode of Nothing New, a remake podcast, in which we'll be reviewing, appropriately enough because it'll be Valentine's this week, My Bloody Valentine and My Bloody Valentine 3D. So look for those on Apple Podcast. Of course, if you're watching the show and you like Tokusatsu and Henshin Heroes, I co-created a comic book with my buddy Victor Kamba called Shining Yusha. It's available on Tumblr and Twitter and Facebook for free.
Free. That's the right price.
It's a perfect price. So find us there, and folks, don't forget to hard smash or hazard smash that like button.
Wait. Next week.
Oh, that's right. I gotta. We'll reverse that. So big announcement. If you don't know already, Kamen Rider Korner will be fusioning with. It's every time I say that I always building to. Combining with Henshin Hangout, so that's right.
Yeah, which sounds like a perfect match.
Look at that. So yes, so you will no longer see us talk about Kamen Rider on a separate show. We will be combining our conversations on Henshin Hangout.
Yeah, which will be on that hashtag show. We're moving to that hashtag show.
Yes, and so please join us there.
And it will also be Saturday. Moving to Saturday.
Henshin Hangout will still be on Saturday if you're already a regular watcher of Henshin Hangout. But if you are a watcher of Kamen Rider Korner, You're going to have to follow us on Saturday now. But me, Paula, and a bunch of other hosts will be getting ready to talk about further episodes of Kamen Rider Build and the brand new Super Sentai show, Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger.
I'm so excited for Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger.
Looks super cool.
Which side are you on?
Dude, I like those capes.
I do like the cape. I like the top hats. I also like the idea of them tying up girls and putting them on train tracks.
Just like, it's super funny.
And just walking away. Like
I also, but at the same time, I love that the cops
look like cops.
Looks like cops.
I love that there's a tie on their suit.
Yes.
I love that there's a tie.
I love that all their civilian gear is just them with like trench coats. Like, that's amazing. So I can't wait. Our first episode with the new combined show will be next Saturday with me and Paula Gatos. And follow us there. And again, like I said before, heart smash the like button. Yes. Please subscribe to Pop Culture Renegades and like, share, and such. Okay, so I think that should be it, folks. Thank you very much. And this, I guess, technically is the last episode
for us. Kamen Rider Corner.
Yeah, Kamen Rider Corner. So
it's been good.
Thank you so much if you're here since the first step, but we're not going away. We're just moving to the other channel. So check us out, Henshin Hangout next week. Until then, thank you so much, because we are
Pop Culture Renegades.